I'm gonna actually record the quest list because I haven't done the Cavarena quest. Hello, kitty. Oh, he's in my lap. He's upside down on his back. Oh, very good kitty. Likes up in the air. You can leave if you want. There he goes. I don't have to worry about him yanking the cord. Anyway, I started this. I think I started the very beginning of this ages ago, but just didn't bother with it. Okay, this time I've been commissioned to try to find a local order and obtain information about something known as the Sign of a Pausha. I must say that remuneration seems quite outsized when compared to the commission content. I hope I won't get caught up in any trouble. I reached the entrance to the Temir Mountains with the help of my mercenary, but he refused to continue on, saying that this was the border of a war. It must be some sort of desert dweller superstition. Contrary to what I was told, it seems that these Nargothronites are not very friendly to outsiders. Looks like I have to try infiltrating their ranks. I finally managed to make it out. Thankfully, these people are pretty civilized, so I managed to get away with my life. As I thought, these high remuneration commissions always have something fishy going on. Looks like an adventurer's work just in suit people who just want to earn some quick mora. I'll just leave this drum here. Maybe someone will pick it up. That way, I guess I won't totally disappoint Miss Catherine. With my adventure. Town of Paushep. Thomas not super sure what this guy's talking about, but it sure is irresponsible leaving a commission unfinished just because it's hard. But since that's how things are, let's throw this gem over to Catherine and let her reassign it to someone to complete whatever commission this was. How about we do it? Because, we're the best adventurers around. You know how it is. We're just goaded. There, I've a recent trial's been. You've been quite well, thank you. For about your previous ventures, it seems that you've become very experienced. As long as you keep going, I believe that it will only be a matter of time before you become a truly great adventurer. Speaking of adventures, we found this one on Roars. This was left by some irresponsible adventurer. We thought it'd be bad if the commission he took never got resolved, so we brought it back here. Indeed, this item is key to a particular commission. Thank you very much. The mission linked to the drum is a very important one with the Academia. It is also critical to the expansion of our operations. Unfortunately, though we have previously given this commission to various towns adventurers, they all invariably failed. Oh boy, here comes trouble. It is an issue that even Academia cannot solve, so we did expect a relatively high failure rate. I was kind of curious now, what sort of commission is it anyway? So we put a recent star observation by researchers from the Academia led to the discovery that the northern skies have become blocked by strange heretofore unseen phenomenon. Concerned that this would have great impact on the accuracy of any astrological calculation, the Academia immediately put people together to investigate. This resulted in them developing ancient records within which they found mention of a strange phenomenon as the sign of a Pausha, which bears strong similarities to the recent occurrence. According to these records, the celestial sign appeared after the disaster that engulfed Moses about 500 years ago. The circumstances of its eventual disappearance are unclear. Its position that has been determined to be near the Tamir Mountains at the northernmost regions of the desert. If their areas only have been sparsely populated, even when the ancient desert realms were at their peak, they did not extend that far. And after the cataclysm 500 years ago, that place is one of the areas worst affected by the encroaching abyss due to being connected to an ancient underground realm. Since then, it has been declared a restricted zone by Academia. The only people who can still live there are a mysterious Darshan known by the Academia as the Nagarjanites. Mysterious Darshan. Even you're calling him Mysterious Cat, it's gotta be something super mysterious. They seem like legends of the average person. They were once a Darshan of the Academia, albeit one that split off 500 years ago. Then the researchers who wished to fight the monsters from the abyss banded together and traveled to the depths of the desert, and Nagarjanites are an organization comprised of people who stayed there in the end. It said it has been many years. I just got finished eating a bit ago, so I'm going to be hiccuping a bit. And they have branched off further and further from Academia. They even seem to have developed their own academic traditions. Since they also worship a form of energy known as Cavarena, this energy communicates with them in the form of spirits. Well, I feel that I'm going off topic now. Academia believes that this faction is strongly related to the celestial sign. However, they have not been able to establish contact with this group, and as such, have commissioned the guild to assist in their investigations. So one strategy for us as well. Rooms related to Cavarena are located nearby, but exploration in that area has been declared taboo by the Academia until now. This commission is a success. Perhaps we will be able to participate in future expeditions to those ruins. Since you have heard me say this much, why don't you take the commission on? Well, since Conrad is involved, we're just gonna look for those water rights, right? Sounds like it'll be pretty easy. We'll get some more for the Academia, too. The drum you picked up was originally given to us by the Academia to be used as a token of good faith in our dealings with the Nigronites. Just give it to the organization leaders. Stands to reason that they will have some ways to solve this problem. I'll be leaving this task in your hands then. I've marked the rough position of the Timmy Mountains for you. Never change. Cool. Camarena of Good and Evil. Don't know what that means. Very cool. Maybe I should use a like Sumeru team. Okay, so what all characters does that mean I can use? I don't really have that many Sumeru characters. Not really. So you've got Sino, obviously. Sino, Nahida, Kale, Tainari. That's really it. Like, a lot of the Sumeru characters are kind of here near the bottom. Yeah, a lot of the Sumeru characters are near the bottom. Might as well do this. Let's see what happens. There's even a Sealy here. Once I finish doing all these quests, which there's only these two left, and then I guess you can count these, but these don't actually give primos, I don't think. Son of a Pasha, yep. I remember seeing that and being like, what in the fuck am I looking at? I was just exploring this area and then I looked up and then I saw that and I was like, what in the hell? I think I was in co-op at the time. Speaking of, people might end up joining here at some point. I have auto accept activated.
A familiar sight.
Yo. How are you, bro? Who are you? You don't look like tribes people of the desert, more like adventurers from a faraway land. And here you are, so far as you will get, please go back. We've been commissioned to come here. Commission. As far as I know, the Community Rainforest has declared this area a restricted zone. How would there be a commission? We're commissioned to investigate something up in the sky. It looked like bad news. Sign of, what was it again? Sign of a Pasha. Yep, that's the one. Wait, how did you come to know its name? Captain the Adventurers Guild told us. Wait, didn't you mention the correct name just now? As you know, Sign of a Pasha, you must have heard of a Shamania, right? Order of Skeptics? The desert past this point is a restricted zone under our guard. As a ranger of the Order of Skeptics, I cannot let you pass, no matter what your reason might be. Order of Skeptics. I've got to interest was on Pyro, a member of the Order of Skeptics in charge of guarding this place. Pyro remembers that's not supposed to look for the Nagarjusites or something. Nagarjunites? That's a derogatory name that those guys of the rainforest have for us. Nagarjuna is a hero who fought against the Dev alongside the divine bird's heirs. He gained divine power through this rite of Shinvat, put an end to the calamity. Why they call us such a great hero in our first Vinjapati by his given name. Wait, why am I telling this outsiders this? Are you just watching the Academia? Or because we accepted a commission from the Academia. These folks have been reduced to hiring some no-name adventurers to do their dirty work. I thought they might send some riches over at the worst, but an oversight on my part. I didn't expect you to have such a strong opinion about the Academia. Lord Nasurai has said that we wouldn't have been reduced to this state if it weren't for them. Wait, 2 years to gather attachments after all. I feel more than I should. Anyway, please leave. This conversation continues. As unwilling as it might be to do so, I would have to end you. You're who's going to resist blabbing. Why are you putting the blame on us? Gosh, alright. Show Pierre the token Catherine gave us. He needs to do once he sees it. Shabby drum, you call this a token? Catherine mix things up. Why was such a small thing? Do you believe now or things will get nasty? Do you understand those skeptics? Bring it on, bro. I will beat your ass. Fuck.
You play.
Cease, I say. Lady Sorush, why did you... You didn't have to attend to such trivial matters personally, let alone in front of these outsiders. The Pari appear before whoever we wish. Our volition is not of you mere mortals to question. How do you overstep your bounds? It's about Paimon's side. The way she talks is kind of funny. I was barely calling a lady in that reverent tone. You sins will be judged, but the time for you is yet to come. The two of you over there, as envoys of academia, it is only polite to state your names first, no? Privilege yourselves first, but the high and mighty attitude of yours is... Words and actions are not contrary to traditions and principles of the Pari. The same cannot be said for your nameless persons. We're not nameless, Paimon's Paimon. We're adventurers who came here on a commission. I'm the one who's an adventurer. We're looking for the order of skeptics. I need only know your names. Your other trivialities do not concern me. However, as for that drum, there has been a profound connection with this Pari, and it is not something that you mortals should possess. I command you to present it to me immediately. It's nice when you ask for someone a favor. This item is important to our commission. We're to hand it to the leader of this order of yours. If we give it to you and the fail to complete the commission because of that, not only might we lose reward, we might even have to pay more to the Adventurers Guild. It's a huge loss. I think the risk your lives in a place fraught with peril for such frivolous reasons. You know nothing of what transpires here. One mistake would send your race tumbling into an eternal samsara, and yet you commit deeds that are beyond even our comprehension. Humans are such interesting beings. Matter, I shall bring you to the leader you speak of. Send him a remain worthy tribute, even if you could only present it to me after that meeting. That's more like it. Wait, that's not right. We still have to deal with that huge hole in the sky. You told you for the sign of Pausha, then? Do you wish to quell this calamity with mere mortal coils? Presumptuous. It is the duty of us Pari to eradicate the sign of Pausha, and endeavor that I, Sarush, shall give up my all to accomplish. To this calamity, I must fall in the footsteps of the divine bird Simerg, and sacrifice everything that one might call Sarush. Stand in my way is not a sin that one you may bear. Simerg? Foolish beings, have you not heard of the divine bird Simerg? It is master of Camarena who once saved the land from destruction. Legend has it that it was she who split into the infinite amount of Camarena after her sacrifice, thus quelling the catastrophe. Mama doesn't think that we'll need you to sacrifice yourself. Jesus matters far beyond our capabilities, and your intervention is futile. All you must do is bear silent witness as I transcend. You shall receive remuneration from this guild of yours so long as the calamity is quelled, will you not? Still, do not forget to extol my virtues and laud my accomplishments. After all, even the greatest heroes are required by your mortals like you to sing of their deeds. The Vintage Pati has instructed us to forbid suspicious individuals from interfering before the ritual is complete. I have decided, as a Pari, my word is law. Alright, follow me. I shall take you to the leader you spoke of, but gird yourselves all the same. That which lies ahead is a place that human beings cannot easily set foot in. If you get lost or end up being eaten by some monster appearing out of nowhere, there shall be nothing I can do for you. I am more than capable of fighting my own, but okay. We eventually unlocked this character, I think. Like, we can fly around with them.
Solidify!
Don't be scared.
Through me, justice is served! Your penance is due! Guilty! And into two! Stabilize! Order guide!
Stay put.
Nowhere to run!
I mean, Dev, aren't these just abyss mages and hilly trolls? To think you would so easily defeat the rampage of death, your strength is most radiant indeed. Consider me impressed. Though there is still quite the gap between you and us, Pari. At the sight of you fighting valiantly reminds me of those humans of legend who once fought alongside us. Decided then, you shall have the honor of being my Yasnapati. Mama doesn't know what that is, but coming from you, it can't be anything good, really. Do you have such thing? Do you not have such things amongst humans, strategists, scribes, and the like? Those who exist to praise the heroes whose stories they exist in? None of those jobs are what you described. No matter great the hero, their great deeds must be recorded and sung of by others. If not, the same fate that befell ancient heroes shall befall them also. Though they may have loved violence and conflict, great deeds are still great deeds, and they deserve to be remembered. Alas, those who loved conflict would be consumed by it, and once they had slain each other, they were all lost. Because there were no authors or poets to tell of their deeds, once all who had lived in such times were gone, their works forgotten at the last. I will not be like them. My great works shall shine so gloriously that the world itself will suffer great loss to not know of it. Thus I shall now give you permission to record those deeds. Rejoice and give thanks, for this is not a grace of those that few receive from us Pari. So it sounds very complicated, but basically you just need someone to tell you how awesome you are, right? Did you find a skeptic to do that? I admire their spirit, but other than their leader, whom you mentioned previously, the rest are not fit for such work. They speak all day of how conflict and their true nature of this world, but they have themselves lost all ability to engage in such. None of them will be able to witness my sacrifice to its end. Whatever the case, it has been decided. Fret not, you shall be free to do as you please once I have sacrificed myself to restore the pure skies. Till then, you shall witness my valiant form. Sure, well, even if Paimon can't see it. Oh yeah, they didn't even drop it. Damn. Can I get off them? Thank you. I'm just gonna grab a bunch of these guys, I don't really have any. Path here is not dotted with great crystals. When I last left, it was not yet so. I mean, the crystals we're seeing everywhere. I've had around them for a while now, but what are they? Great crystals are remnants of the Black Fire's embers, proof that this land has suffered great calamity. I'm sure you've heard that such a great catastrophe struck long ago, where dark fire rose from beneath the earth and scorched the land. The dark fire opened a bottomless hollow in this land, and the demons of death that crawled through that gap nearly turned this into a lightless realm. Though the gap was blocked by the great tree, the dark fire's filth spread like seeds, and the countless dark and painful memories released by that corruption began to lay down roots and sprout. This persisted till the honored Lord of Cavarena, the divine bird Simmer, drank the primordial water left behind by our god, before transforming herself into Cavarena of all kinds and scattering across the land. From that day on, the Cavarena has been the divine bird's place in defending this land, and those painful memories that leaked out have been sealed by Cavarena. What was left of these ubiquitous great crystals, though they seem no different from any other stone. They may contain objects that are yet to be purified. The crystal's area has increased of late. I suspect that this must have something to do with the sign of Apaush's dark power. But if we use Cavarena's might, we can get rid of these crystals. But since Tsushimi, a wandering Cavarena should be nearby. Let us look around. Is that the, little green thing? Is this not a Cavarena? I don't know.
Your sins weigh upon your soul!
like, all the way up? I've already been through most of this. Yo. The Sorge covering his envoy, you have returned. Though it has taken much work on my part, the analysis of documents regarding the rite of Chinvat will soon be complete. According to my research, we only collect all the great songs of Kavarina next, and your great work may then be completed. Wait a moment, you two are... Dear friend, they are these two, my newly chosen Yasnapati and her companion. They are here to witness my great work. Yeah, Paimon doesn't agree to that yet. Yasnapati, you say? Though I will not question your most astute judgment. I fear that allowing ignorant outsiders in this land before the rite of Chinvat is complete may have untoward effects. Know that the people of academia should not desire the rite's completion. Speak no further. I have my reasons for doing this. Well then, take that drum from before out. Corybantes. Corybantes? Yes, this is an important catalyst for a ritual needed to forge a laupa between ourselves and the Pari. I have searched for many years for this, and to think it comes to me. This is indeed a good omen for my future plans. It would be good if the fates were also be with me when I led the Order of Skeptics to throw down the Academia and burn their House of Dana, whatever they call it, to the ground. What a way of casually painting yourself as a villain, huh? Villain, the Academia are the true villains here, I have no doubt of that. I forgot my introductions. I am Nasujuna, the Vijnanapati of the Order of Skeptics, we who cultivate ourselves here. If you wish to use the term as the Academia, I would be the equivalent of a sage. But I doubt those pampered folk would care much for what we at the margins call ourselves. You don't look like much of those Academia might send. We did commission from them. So you are of them, after all, but it matters not. Even if the entire Corps of 30 were to be sent here, my plans could not be halted. Whatever your plans are, we didn't come here to stop them, that's for sure. So they would all say, those treacherous louts in the Academia, and when my guard is down, you would stab me in the back. Just like those people in funny masks who try to skulk around and steal our academic tomes. They even dared to attack our honored envoy of Kavarina, Lara Surush. They would be defeated at my hands, each one of them. Guessing those were Fatui? I know not of what you speak, but they were city folk, so I doubt the Academia will be far behind in the shadows. Do not look upon us as some miserable few who inhabit the Timir Mountains. We once had such numbers that all the desert north of the Mount Damavan would struggle to hold us. It is only because of our harsh environment and slander and ostracism by the Academia that we have been reduced to this. It was not for such sage souls as myself, holding things together in the protection of Camarina, the skeptics would have been reduced to nothing long ago. Sounds like quite the disagreement. Catherine said that you have your differences, but it sure looks to find one that you and the skeptics really hate the Academia. Hate, but rather that we simply cannot coexist. Yelzong, I did go there to learn and attempt to amend our differences, but they treated me like an outsider. Though they feigned politeness by calling us a branch of the Academia, this is not but a means to belittle us. It is said that our predecessors had a clash of ideals with them, and so chose to go into the desert to stand against the darkness themselves. From that day on, we have been holding firm in the war against defilement, defending our land. What have those useless louses been doing in the meantime? Compared to those pampered pedants, we who combine thought, word, and deed far better deserve honor for our wisdom. Parma doesn't quite get it, and you understand that conflict is the true nature of this world, covering impurity, dowry, and the true way. It is these struggles for supremacy that have kept this world alive just as surely as the sky does. Those sophists in their fancy darshans believe that the fates of all are inscribed in the skies, and that this is the supreme wisdom and truth. But look, these skies reflect defilement itself. Surely the truth, then, is an imperfect thing. Seems a tad messy. Only those who dare to refute the truth can gain true wisdom. It seems that such courage is not found in you. Soraya, this is not the time to talk about such things. Have you not seen how the gray crystals hem us in ever more tightly? If we do not extinguish the sign of a partial soon, things will grow more apparent indeed. But speaking of the sign, we were tasked to fix this whole thing, but after all this talking, we still don't know what it's supposed to be. Well, our plans also involve extinguishing that celestial mark. As for what it is, if it must be described as anything, let's call it the water's surface. This just makes things more confusing. Water's reflection, while an illusion, nonetheless hides the truth within itself. So it is with the skies. It is like a mirage, if you have seen those before. It's way bigger than any mirage. It should be, for that celestial sign reflects an otherworldly hellscape. Long, long ago, Dari once built a facility here that connected them to realms above. During the Great Disaster, which they say the Dari started, monsters swarmed from that very facility in the nations of the world. The monsters tore open a great rift that came to be called the Tunigi Hollow, and though they were sealed away from the new vein of the ancient tree, this mysterious sign appeared along with that. What the sign reflects is that which lies beyond the dark rift, and though the monsters cannot enter Teyvat through that illusion, it nonetheless radiates corrupt energies. They say that our very first vision in Apathy extinguished that strange sign together with the Pari. As the power of impurity has strengthened over time, this ancient symbol has appeared once more. And should we leave it be, who knows, that Hollow may truly re-emerge one day, and that ancient war will be reenacted. In truth, it might be interesting to live in such exciting times. That'll be interesting at all. Matters not. Simurg drank the Amirta left behind by her god, transmuting herself into the limitless Kavarina. As the heirs of the divine bird, solving this problem is the mission that we Pari have. I, Sarush, will surely leave behind a work great enough to be her equal. Of course, Kavarina's envoy. We of the Order of Skeptics shall surely help you see your duty through. So let's talk about sacrifice. Is it really necessary to solve this problem? Well, in truth, I do not know. All documents regarding the sign of a Pausha have long been lost, and the traditions and rites surrounding it have also ceased to be passed down. If it had not been for me constantly looking up what documents were left, there might not have been any more left to know that the rite of Shinvat existed at all. According to my research, the Pari are the descendants of Simurg, and should therefore also have the power to transform into Kavarina to purify the land. Would you not say that such a grand sacrifice saved the world on the part of the divine bird's heirs very much suits our order's style? That's so haphazard. The sacrifice you're talking about doesn't sound like a small thing either. Why aren't we thinking of other ways to solve this issue? I'm sure there's got to be some alternative, right? It's always been this way. I'm not very good at my job, after all. Right, says you need not interfere. Simply witnessing my sacrifice shall suffice. It is something worth celebrating that we Pari should sacrifice our life to purify the earth. Well, you say that, but I would ask that you keep a respectful distance from that which you do not comprehend, outsiders. But since this is the case, well, I was planning to investigate the Tuniki Hall to make preparations for the rite of Chinvat anyway. Why don't you come along? I trust that you also wish to see the scars left behind by a fissure that once led beyond our world's bounds. When you see it, I believe you shall understand. I'm just kind of curious. A sound plan. In that case, I shall lead the way. After all, you would find it impossible to freely traverse this land forever in battles against impurity. My yes, Napati, follow me to this end, to the end. Watch me complete my mission. Sure. Ah, there we go. Pari are very mysterious creatures, and as the bloom guard of her race, Sarush can replace your characters to fly and move. When Sarush is in flight, your character will stay in place to wait her return. Huh. While in flight, Sarush can ascend or descend and use the accelerate button to increase your flight speed. I cannot move too far. Sarush can call upon the special energies within items around which mysterious Miss Mayfly stands. Huh. Press Sarush's interact skill to allow her to use power to guide the might of Kavarina. Hold her interact skill to cause her to stop and continuously channel Kavarina's might. This time you can control her character. Or control her character freely. As a Pari, Sarush can also perceive some things beyond normal human sight. Okay. So lonely. Okay, it's actually a gadget. Intriguing. Oh, cool. Does it work like a pet? No. Because it actually has to be in there. Interesting. Yep, big eye hole. Is that the deep pit to the Tundiga Hall you were talking about earlier? There's super huge crystals all over the place, even bigger than the ones we saw before. They look scarier too. These were once huge trees used to seal and subdue the creatures of the dark depths. The power of defilement scripted them, warping them into such forms as you see now. Since the monsters have been sealed, it sure doesn't look like anyone needs to sacrifice themselves again. That's why we must use the power of Karina to reopen the way. Did I just release the monsters again? Well, I mean that we must open the path to the side of a Pausha. The way to the rift in the earth was sealed long ago. It can never lead to the true darkness again. But that is exactly why that sealed rift does indeed connect to the illusions of the abyss. We need only use the great songs of Cavarina to stabilize the seal before initiating the rite of Shivat to pass through the darkness to reach the side. Yeah, the mightiest manifestations of Cavarina are scattered throughout the world. We can use the great songs to initiate the rite of Chinvat. After that, we can open up a path to the darkness, just as legends holds that the first Vijnanapati Nagarjuna and the Pari did. It's all well and good, but what will we do once we reach the side of the sign is on? I don't know what happens after that. I have encountered legends that our first Vijnanapati Nagarjuna has lifted up to the heavens, where he used divine power to extinguish the sign, but that, I feel, is mere myth. I believe the Cavarina's envoys will have some way. Since they can purify the defiling impurities, they must also have some way to extinguish the sign. Did Sarush not also say that she wishes to take the sacrifices to Merg? The world is built upon conflict and sacrifice, after all. That's what Sarush says, sure, but that's way too irresponsible. Don't fret. Before the necessity of a sacrifice can be ascertained, we must still bring the great songs of Cavarina together. The moment we have yet to take even the first step forward. I've been talking this whole time. Basically, only the Pari who has been chosen as a Bloom Guard can touch the great songs. Our current village Shrush has yet to obtain that right. All that plus you really aren't all that much, huh? Dare speak to me like that, pale floater? Paimon isn't a pale floater. Only by obtaining the twin-horned chaplet may she become the Bloom Guard, a being able to gather the power of Cavarina. As such, she must first be acknowledged by Lady Zervan, the first Pari. She is a mighty Pari who fought alongside our ancestors. It is even said that she was the very Pari who fought alongside the ancient hero Sisabu, the Empress of the Abyss. But that elder of ours is utterly unreasonable. She refuses to acknowledge my dearest desire. I'm afraid that there's nothing I can do about that. Still, even without the twin-horned chaplet, my sacrifice will suffice to accomplish this deed. Of course, I do not intend to doubt your desire to sacrifice yourself this way, but if you are unable to perform the rite and pass through the dark hollow, your wish will not be fulfilled nonetheless. However, I do have a suggestion. Lady Sarush called you her Yasnapati here, did she not? Why don't you go with her to the Vorkusha Oasis, where Lady Zervan may be found? Perhaps Lady Zervan may yet change her mind about should she see that we humans view Lady Sarush as the predestined envoy. You're enjoying this, aren't you? This is the only method we have to present to change our current situation, so please do go with the Lady Sarush to the sacred place protected by the Cavarina. We'll also consult the words of the ancient scribes once more to ascertain the locations of the great songs. As for the Kori drum you brought, I may now form a connection once more with the Pari who still remain in slumber. Their awakening is necessary for the rite of Chinvat to occur. Regardless, I leave the matter of the twin-horned chaplet to you two. Once everything is complete, let us meet at the campsite upon the Tamir Mountains. We look for that Pari elder, right? Well, let's hope she isn't as nasty as Sarush is. I still technically hit it. Yeah, I imagine at some point I'm gonna be able to like actually do something with this. It actually tells me where my Bloom Guard is. That doesn't do anything. Oh. What just happened? Oh. Oh, holding it does that. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh. Well, there is a big fucker over here.
You play. You're up.
I have to do a whole bunch of exploration right here. The moment I finish this quest and then the other one, which is like the stuff with the competitive racist joke character, the little lamp thingy. Oh, it's a tech one nut. This is a tech nut. Cool. Creatures here look like this would be one of those Winute that we've seen before. Why did it get trapped here? So you call these children of an ancient dragon the Winute? Still, it does not have a sinful form. Perhaps it was merely unlucky to have been caught in this crossfire and sealed here. Well, it's a good thing it's been sealed here. If not, it might just pop out of the ground and swallow us all in one go. I think you'd be very good to eat, Paimon. I was not sure how to feel about that. Certainly looked like you get on well. Of course, we're the best of buddies. But it's not also said that even the constant companions would fail to notice if the other was spirited away by a sprite. These stories are quite common too, yes? What are you talking about? Merely jest. If you were bosom buddies, surely you would not. Surely some idle jokes will not move you. We shall soon reach the Vorukasha oasis. Come on, let's go. Let us hurry. I keep wanting to speak in my own dialect, the words I use, but then it just doesn't work.
Solidify!
Stay put.
Nowhere to run! Your sins weigh upon your soul! Stay content! Guilty!
A well-deserved fine.
And yes, I will be checking that constantly. Interesting. Thank God for having like this stuff, because I remember trying to walk through these places before and it being a pain in the ass. Oh yeah, I didn't realize it was in the same cave with the Unico's Baptist. I remember I farted the crap out of that thing. For someone. Who was that for again? That might have been. It's gotta be one of my level 90 characters. It was you. Yeah. It was Kirara farming. I'm probably supposed to do something with these, but I don't think I really care right now. I'll do that when I'm actually fully exploring this area. I'll only grab chests where all I have to do is defeat monsters. Fire energy is oozing out of a huge gap. I see the energy coming from the city opposing the ooze from the sky. Yep. That is in fact what it is doing. I remember seeing this. I do know I want to run into a couple of this stuff. I did do some exploration here, but not much. Like when it came out, I think. something I learned when I was playing Chongyun ages ago. I still play him occasionally, but something I learned while playing him was that
Our perseverance
extra
has paid off.
attacks, is the best way I can explain it, is extra attacks can go through shields. As if they're not like full shields, like abyss shields, then it can go through them. If the shield is considered an external object. I didn't think there'd be such a huge patch of green on the other end of the mountain. We're just in the desert too. How strange. Impressive is it not? It is our homeland after all. We're the Pari, so there'll be lots of other things like you here, right? You know what? Bum's all like ongoing. You should not be excited beyond worlds. The big tree stump over there looks like it's holding off the stuff oozing out of that big hole. That is the harvest patagam, the sacred form of the god that has granted us Pari life. It is not just some large stump. That's a god? Well, we've seen other gods. This is the first time we've seen one looking like that. That is because our god cannot be considered alive. 500 years ago, our great god gave all to quell the power of the disaster afflicting this place, but she was stained with corruption and could not be reborn in a purer plane. Thus her divine consciousness continues to wander the mortal one. Our great god left us with the sanctified Amrita, and the Lord Verdir caused the harvest Patacum to grow from that, thus anchoring our god to this realm. The Vurakasha oasis has been nourished by the Amrita, and even the Kavarina cannot defend this earth. That defends this earth can gain its ending power by the grace of the Amrita. But this god of yours doesn't look too well. She's been trying to hold out against the stuff coming out of the hole this entire time. Power maintains the seal over the dark hollow. I fear that the sign has emerged here due to being attracted to her power. But were not for the presence of the Harvest Protacum, the defilement surging forth from that hollow would have infected the entire world. But it is also due to performing this duty that the tree has deteriorated so much. I do not believe that I could ever bear to be reduced to such a state. That is why I must leave a legacy of heroism behind for all to remember before it does happen. Never mind that first. Let's go look for the Zervin person, shall we? We'll get that chaplain to fix this guy real quick. That might make your god feel all better, too. Probably could have just teleported, but got some sage and peaches. Look, another one. Hello. Where's your face? It is there. It's just hard to see it. What is this Sarush? Such a rare guest. It's been a while, Elder Zervin. Elder, when you call me that, then you should follow Pari norms and cease consorting with those humans whose hearts are heavy with the ulterior motives. I haven't gone against our norms. I have only made contact with humanity to find a way to extinguish the skyfire, just as the divine bird did. That is why you've all learned all about the... Is that why you have learned all that crap about sacrifice from the humans? We Pari are nothing for such foolishness. Isn't it our duty as Pari to sacrifice ourselves in the battle against the defiling impurity? Await the call of destiny, Sarush. Only humans rush in blindly. The destiny you speak of is a nebulous thing. I cannot simply be expected to sit and wait for it. That is precisely the danger. The chaplet you seek contains the highest authority over Kavarina. In giving it to you, I might as well be handing the power of Kavarina over to those untrustworthy humans. Can't you just have more faith in me, Elder? You too. Looks like we're being left out here, aren't we? Seems like Sarush loses that cocky attitude for the serpent, huh? Well, there are hidden facets to her person. That's a scary thought. For the ones who came with Sarush, yes, not a place that ordinary humans may visit lightly. Let me see. Well, you certainly aren't from the order of skeptics. You seem to be outlanders, in fact. As a courtesy, I suppose you two shall introduce yourselves first. I don't ask humans for their names often, you know. Adventurers who shuttle across Tibet. So you're travelers then. Well now, I do think I have seen a traveler much like you before. To the forbidden land of Pari, the paradise nourished by Amrita, the shrine at which we pay reverence to our great god. Only heroes who have forged bonds with Pari and pilgrims who have come to genuflect before our god may enter. I take it that you are Sarush's companions then. It has been several hundred years since humans last visited our Sea of Flowers. Are there tons of skeptics living outside in the desert? Don't they know how to enter this place? I shall not permit such discourteous folk to enter our hidden realm. In the past, we Pari did indeed fight alongside their ancestors. We even lived here together. But many years have passed, and folly has grown strong among them. Even the traditional rites that have been utterly forgotten, none living amongst them now can forge a lapa with a Pari. They should have been the ones to conduct the rite of absorb for the tree that suppressed the dark hollow, thus cleansing it of the filth that stained it. Yes, the deterioration of the tree cannot be avoided, but if they had not altogether the right and caused the seal to weaken, this terrifying sign would have never reappeared so soon. But human tradition is unreliable in this fashion. Compared to them, you outlanders, blank slates as you are, certainly seem more dependable. I'm not sure if you're actually praising us or not, but we're here to... What if guess you're here about this sign in the sky? Anyone would notice what our world would look if not for this great crisis. Well, we were commissioned to deal with this large hole, yeah. As a guess, it seems that even after long, this short-lived race is as short-sighted as ever. If it is not that way, why would you need us Pari to act on your behalf? We're just nasty as a whole. Regardless, since human heroes have again graced our secret garden, it seems the gears of destiny have begun to turn once more. You seem to be an interesting human too. That takes me back. Once upon a time, I too traveled alongside humans as curious as you to pull a calamity. Perhaps you really might equal their great deeds. Well then, it's decided. I shall give you a chance. Two of you certainly seem more trustworthy than those blind and foolish skeptics. Although, shouldn't you put your trust in me instead? As for that, you do know where Roshana and be here, alright? Go bring them here. They should still be enjoying their beauty sleep right now. This will serve as proof for our trustworthiness, and I will be able to give the chaplet to you. This is the kind of seal that everyone needs to be together to break. It has such impoverished imagination. The chaplet can be given to you at any time, but to solve the issue of the sign of Pasha, we will need all their strength. Zeus alone will not be able to open the path of the Dark Hollow, not even with the chaplet. This perhaps is another example of the rule of three. I don't really know what you're saying, but as long as we get the chaplet, it's fine. You help Zeus out, alright? Okay. Stop making such disgraceful noises. Would I lead you wrong? Pelflar, you could learn from Maria's Napati of her unflinching calm. It is just a fluorescent purple mist. And they're pretty suspicious already. Paimon can tell how dangerous it is just by looking. Just trivial trials. They pale in comparison to the sacrifice I must okay. As I misspeak, you Pelflar are not as bold as Maria's Napati. But perhaps one day, considering retreating at the slightest sign of danger, a wise choice. Nice going, buddy. Didn't I give you the title for now, Napati? You do give praise unto my bravery more, pray. It was Paimon longer. When she's not being near Napati, there's nothing wrong for sparing some time to praise Paimon. Anyway, don't sweat the small stuff, Sarush. You're not really doing anything that especially needs praising right now. My great work is not for the present, but the future. Still, at this very moment, you are being given the privilege to witness where it all begins. Where to find here the foolish familiar of thorns? She must be suffering right now. However, the problem is beneath us shares the source of the demons of Dev. Mahir's task should have been to keep such wicked powers from running rampant upon this earth. Upon the sign of Pasha, the powers of the two forces warring here ebb and flow. We Pari should be dauntless, willing to fight till we ourselves are torn to shreds. But Mahir, I shouldn't wonder if she searches for some way to protect herself even now, conducting some loathsome struggle. John, Lisa, are you really gonna leave a fellow Pari to free like that? Huh. Okay then. Mist in the swamp. Your target occur forces make like vertical mist. Swords can use your powers to awaken the power of Camarina that flows within the water branches or use this power to disperse the purple mist. Manifestations of the volume from within will make itself known. The five entities that lie concealed within the bag are the source of the purple mist. Only by destroying them can the mist be parted. The text do not work against them. Only the power of the Iridola fruits can successfully purify them. Not completely purify them.